Ones. Welcome to another Spread the Love Facebook Live, and today it's going to be a 13 Star Sign Astrology special. So just whilst I'm waiting for people to join us, who are going to join us live, I'm just going to share this transmission to a few groups, including some 13 Star Sign Astrology groups. Let's just see who else I'm going to share this with. For those of you that are joining us live, please feel free to say hi and let us know who you are, where you are, how you're going, how you're flowing. Let's just have a look. It's a stunningly beautiful and happy, shiny, sunshiny day here in Glastonbury in the southwest of England. Let's just pop this. Here we go. So hi to everyone who's watching live. Please feel free to say hi. Let me know how you are, who you are. Yeah, and how is everyone flowing? Incredible energies coming through. Really incredible, powerful, potent energies coming through. There's Kim. Kim's there with us. So yeah, and Kim and I are going to be making some announcements at the end of this transmission about some events that we're going to be co-creating and sharing and offering very soon. Donna, hey beautiful sister. Yeah, very powerful. You'll be feeling them because you hold the eights. I think you have 8 life path from memory. Very, very powerful, potent times. I actually just shared a Facebook post the other day. Been noticing a lot of the readings that I've been giving recently. Hi, Debbie. A lot of sisters actually coming to me who've got 3s, 4s, 8s, 11s, 44 8s in their blueprint. Because there are some really powerful activations that are happening on the planet for everyone, numerologically, astrologically, celestially, astrologically, astronomically, so connected to the stars, connected to the zodiac, connected to the planets, but also connected to the numbers. And you know, I really love to share this information, this knowledge, this wisdom, especially with Kim as well, when we bring Cosmic Numerology and 13 Star Sign Astrology together, because it just helps us on the mental plane. I find personally when we have this information, we have this knowledge and wisdom, and this is ancient, you know, our ancestors, you know, connected with the stars and the planets, and even before we had clocks and watches and time as such, you know, we were tuning into these divinatory sources to help us navigate life on earth. And yeah, I really, really, really love sharing this information because it helps me, and then by sharing it, by definition, it's going to be helping you guys out there. So yeah, really lovely to have you with us, Donna. So I feel I'm just going to welcome, there's beautiful Desiree, Sister Desiree. I am going to welcome Sister Kim to join us. Kim is, in my humble opinion, one of the world's leading experts in 13 Star Sign Astrology, and she's a beautiful dear sister of mine, soul sister of mine. There she is. Hey, Kim.
Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. Good. A bit tired, actually.
Me too.
Mm, mm.
Me too.
But you're looking very Grecian.
Awesome. I'm like, I'll sit right in front of a window and just let the light bounce off me, and I'll just reflect the light in that way.
Yeah, well, the energies are definitely serving you well, my dear.
Oh my
Mm,
goodness. Like, oh my goodness. So powerful and potent. And I'm feeling the Lionsgate, and we'll talk about that. But I'm really feeling the 11 energies of this month, this universal month of August. Like,
wow.
so I'm an 11-2 personality, but any of us that hold 11s or master numbers, it's going to be particularly zingy, because the 11 energy is very cosmic and very kind of out of body and very big. And so
Mm,
actually being able to tune into the energies, tap into the energies, feel them along with the Lionsgate portal,
yeah.
and actually hold those energies and be able to anchor and ground those energies, that requires us to be very centered, very calm, very grounded. And I'm noticing that, like, I can just feel all this energy like bubbling up, and I'm kind of like eating a little bit more than usual, and I'm just staying like, I can just even feel it right now, like it's just pulsing through my whole body. And I'm like, okay, I can feel this, and I can stay really peaceful and calm and centered at the same time. It literally feels like I'm plugged in. If it, like, it feels like my whole system is just like,
Yeah. Yeah, you wait until Uranus goes into retrograde as well. That's going to be major. So
when's that happening?
I think it's around about the 12th of August,
Okay.
but it's all, amongst the Lion Gate's energy. And like when I was doing the Lion's Gate, there was just so much going on. I mean, I was up until like 4:30 in the morning in the end, and I was so exhausted because the energies really hit me that day. I think just the day before, it's like I had all this energy and I was being really productive. And then I think sort of like the day that I sort of did the article, I just had this major slump. I couldn't focus properly. I couldn't, but I was just so determined to push through.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that is definitely the 11 energies of August, because it's like this high is really high vibrational frequency, and we were feeling it all the way through 2018, but it's coming through in a new way this year, because we're in a 3 year. So together as a collective, it's a 3 year, which is all about communication and speaking and sharing the truth. This is why for me these transmissions are so important. And when we come together in the physical at the end of this month and in September, and everyone who's watching will share more. And even if you can't come together with us in Glastonbury, we're going to create a way for you all to connect with us online. But just talking about what we're talking about, honoring Ophiuchus, honoring 13 star sign astrology, especially for you, sister, like, really important service, really important truth.
Yeah.
And it's like this 11 energies coming through to kind of like, it's like a turbocharged turbo boost. It's like, we're in the birthing canal, and there's like just all this light coming through to be like, wee, wee.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready. I'm really bored actually. It's like this, the energies have just been so kind of, it's like one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two step back. And it's been going on for such a long time now. And we're all like, when is this going to end? And the thing is, it is going to end, but wow. we're going to be on a roller coaster ride for a while, you know,
Yeah.
because the energies are shifting and shifting. You know, there's no aspects I'm seeing that are the same. You know, like we've had this T-square, ongoing T-square with Palace, and that's been, you know, this particular T-square has been going on for over a year. Had different players, but it's all being like strong, firm, solid. I'm staying here for a while. And now that's shifting after the Lionsgate. It's almost like by the 14th, all the aspects just disintegrate.
Game on.
And it's like, and we're going to be like, oh, it's going to be a really strange feeling.
Yeah.
No? I
Yeah.
suggest we get a rest. I could do with a snooze, you know? Little snooze, please.
I had a bath in the middle of the day yesterday because I was part of the Sun Lover Goddess procession that started in town and went all the way up to the
Lovely.
tour, and we did this giant ceremony. I've never been around so many divine goddesses all honoring the sun. It was incredible, but I was like, there was just so much energy and so much feminine energy. I came home and I was like,
Beautiful.
I'm just going to get in the bath. I'm just going to breathe. I'm just like, whoa, this is big. Everything's
It is.
big.
I mean, for women especially, or the feminine energy, it's a really exciting time because she's fully in her power.
Yeah, and it's
Fully.
for me, it's the most important, potent, powerful time for women and for the feminine and for the divine feminine in known history, period.
Apparently, yeah, for over 13,000 years, apparently. So, you know, that's some time, isn't it?
Yeah. So before we dive in, I just want to honor and acknowledge everyone who's been saying hi. So Lisbeth says, happy I find you. Hi, Lisbeth. Hi, Amy. Good morning, Lisbeth. Donna says game on indeed. And she agrees with what we've been saying. Hi, Bianca. So hi to everyone who's watching. Welcome to our Spread the Love Facebook Live. This is my beautiful sister, Kim Nosworthy Lovelace. She is, in my humble opinion, one of the world's leading experts in 13 star sign astrology. Fact. And we are going to be chatting with you this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are, about some of the key coordinates, portals, dates, coming togethers of planets, stars, numbers for the month of August. So we're just going to give you a heads and a hearts up, and we're going to give you some guidance about how best to flow with everything that's happening, because as Kim was saying, there's a lot happening, there's a lot going on, and all that's required is that we just stay in our hearts and we stay grounded. But on the mental plane, having this information, knowledge, wisdom available to us is going to help us best ride this incredible cosmic wave that we're all on together. So, you know, grab a cup of tea or snuggle down, and
No sugar for me, thanks.
me neither. I'm sweet enough.
Isn't it?
And welcome to anyone who's new. Welcome anyone who's new to the channel and new to us. And if you enjoy this or are enjoying it, please feel free to share on your page or in Facebook groups with anyone else who you feel would be interested in what we're sharing and would be interested to know more about 13 star sign astrology. So maybe just before we dive in, just give us like maybe a couple of sentences about what 13 star sign astrology is, just so that anyone who's new just gets it in a couple of sentences or so, and then we'll start to dive in with the numbers and the dates.
Yeah, well, you know, star signs on the whole, like the sun in sign, your star sign, is derived from the sun's path along the ecliptic. It's the journey of the sun throughout the year. And, you know, there's always been 12 signs that have been spoken about, but there is actually a 13th sign, which actually is the 10th sign along the ecliptic. and she hasn't been acknowledged for over 2,000 years. And that's what 13 Star Sign Astrology is bringing her back, you know, into knowledge. And you know, it's a very important part as well. She plays a very important role in astrology, and you know, it's time for us to recognize her. And she is the divine feminine energy. And I think since 13 Star Sign has become quite widespread, or is becoming quite widespread, it is helping her energy to escalate and to rise, and we're seeing that play out, and it's been quite amazing and fascinating for me to watch that. You know, I've been on this journey for like nearly 6 years now, so you know, it's I just see it as a blessing for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And from an archetypal perspective, I'm just getting chills. It's Mary Magdalene. It's Mary Magdalene energy.
Yeah.
And we've
Well,
spoke.
it's all, yeah, sorry,
It's
it's the
all.
energy of the whole, you know, because it's the Divine Mother, you know, the Divine Father, and, you know, Mary Magdalene, the Divine Wife, I suppose you can call her, you
Yeah.
know, and she's been depicted as many different beings throughout history, you know, and that's why I include the Black Moon, because the Black Moon, Lilith, which is the owl, she is, you know, the owl symbolism. You know, she's been demonized, and same as Mary Magdalene was demonized, and a lot of other goddesses have been demonized. So again, it's like bringing that knowledge in, and their side of, you know, their side across, so we can understand their energy better.
Yeah.
Because their energy is quite harsh, but it's like tough love. You know, I see it as a tough love energy. And if we can embrace that, then we're, you know, we're coming into wholeness.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the 13th star sign that we're talking about is Ophiuchus,
Yes.
which sits in between Scorpio and Sagittarius, being the 10th sign. And there's also that 10th house, which is involved with 13 star sign astrology, because there's 13 houses. And just tell us a little bit about the 10th house as well, just for anyone who's watching who's might be curious about what that 10th house represents that's been forgotten or removed or displaced.
Yeah. Well, in the astrological system, the houses all represent areas of our lives, and the 10th house is actually the house of Christ consciousness. You know, it's also the house of like our gifts, our talents, whether that be in music, art, or clairvoyancy, and you know, whatever we're good at in life. You know, what we're here to, how we can serve the planet, how we can serve the divine, how we can serve others, and how we can serve ourselves. You know, and the 10th house actually sits, you know, on top of the natal chart. When you look at the wheel, she's actually on the top. And to me, like, that is like all to do with the crown chakra and, you know, higher consciousness. So I do see her closely associated with Aquarius. You know, there's definitely a very strong link there. But yeah, that's what the 10th house represents,
And
you know, on the whole.
is it associated with like magic and spirituality as well, or that side of things?
But definitely, yeah. Well, all Fucus is about magic. She's about alchemy. Well, alchemy is one of her biggest things, you know. But yeah, it's about as well, like being able to transform positive into negative, or negative. It's the magician energy, the energy of magic. Yeah.
And it's interesting because numerologically, that frequency and that energy is very much the 11. It's the 11 energy. So for those of us that hold that in our blueprint, in our chart, like, and we're tuned in, that's a really important, powerful, potent energy to tune into. It's associated with the magician, it's associated with witches and wizardry, and the high priestess and the high priest as well. And then the kind of more powerful aspect of it, especially with the feminine and the kind of tough love, is more connected to the 8 energy. So and it's the same with the serpent, because Ophiuchus is a serpent energy, and it is also connected to, you know, the kind of Kundalini energy, and that coming together of the divine masculine and the divine feminine as well, even though in essence it's this strong divine feminine energy. And so, yeah, for me, it's the coming together of this 8 and this 11 energy, which is an 88. And the 88/7 is a frequency of living our divine soul's purpose and sharing our gifts and being who we came here to be and receiving abundance for that. So for me, Ophiuchus very much is connected to those frequencies and energies numerologically. And then when we come to the Lion's Gate and you've got the pinnacle of that on 8/8, this is a powerful, potent time for, even though, you know, we're in the kind of Cancer Leo territories from a zodiac perspective, energetically we're still tuning into those numbers and those frequencies. And for me, even though there's a lot of talk about lions and lionesses, I can still feel the energy and the potency and the power of the serpent and of that serpent energy and that divine feminine energy, and it is rising in all of us and on the planet.
Well, the lioness represents the cat, and the cat is feline.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, again, that feminine energy. And I think what the cats represent, really, I mean, because they can scratch your eyes out when they're ready. And this is how strong and potent the feminine energy has become. She's like ready, you know, whatever it takes, you know. But this is also where the shadow comes in as well, you know, because we will have to watch what we say, watch what we're thinking, you know, watch how we're acting. You know, we've really got it to be in that place of balance. And, you know, the energies over the last year have been pushing us to find that balance within ourselves, you know. So, because it doesn't matter where we are at on our path, you know, not everybody's on that same level, and we have to deal with those people on a daily basis. You know, we all have to deal with each other on a daily basis. So either keep a low profile or you know, just make sure you're staying in your, you know, your consciousness, you know, being aware, because it's also a very triggering energy going on. It's a very triggering energy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, especially this 11 month, because it's a twin flame energy, the 11, and it can trigger things in our relationships, especially with regards to what we're saying, because it's this 3 energy about communication and truth. And this is why I said in my monthly forecast for August, it's very important that we're speaking our truth, but we're speaking our truth from as calm, grounded, and centered a place as possible, but we can still be assertive and powerful in our communication. We don't have to roar. Sometimes that's you know, sometimes someone gets to a place where the only thing they know or feel to do is roar. But actually, in the new paradigm, the lions and the lionesses don't need to roar, because we're all tuning in with one another and we're being present with one another and we're listening to one another and we're feeling safe to speak our truth before we have to roar. The roar is only actually like I need to let or I need to let everyone know that I'm here, so that you know how powerful I am, because you know, it's like I don't feel you respecting me. That's where I feel the roar actually comes from. It's like it's, you know, it's a lion or lioness making themselves known and present, but they don't run around roaring their heads off all day, every day. They're normally just lolling about, having a sleep or a snuggle with the little cubs, or, you know, going out to find food. That's generally, you know,
Mm.
Lions hang out. So before we dive in, just want to come back to our beautiful family who are with us. So Amy was saying the mental part is the hardest part. And, I find that. And this is why I love having conversations like this, because they're super juicy. And when we were talking about Ophiuchus and Donna was saying, oh my goddess, I feel her, tears of love. Yeah, it's there's just the divine feminine is with us, and it's reflected in the Mayan calendrical year of this white magnetic wizard. So even though we've got the wizard, which a lot of people would consider masculine energy, versus the witch, the white energy of this white magnetic wizard, and the beginning of a new 13-year white wizard wave spell, the white energy based on the Mayan calendar is divine feminine. So even based on the Mayan calendar, there's this huge blast and theme of this divine feminine energy, which is going to be with us for the next 13 years. So she's here, she's with us, she's not going anywhere, and it's time for us to really hear her and see her and acknowledge her and listen to her and love her and welcome her and snuggle with her. Renata says good morning as well. So yeah, hi to everyone who's with us. So should we dive into some numbers and some dates and some planets and all of that jazz? Okay.
Yes, I didn't bring my computer because it could be really distracting, so I've just taken some notes.
Perfect. Perfect. So what we're going to dive into first, which is kind of most prominent, given the fact that we're in this Lionsgate portal, begins on the 26th of July every year, beginning of the Mayan and the calendrical year. Pinnacles on 8/8 and closes on the 12th of August every single year, which brings strong Syrian energy, because the 26th of July every year is when the brightest star in the sky, Sirius, rises with the sun. So the sun and Sirius are together. And so the pinnacle of this is on 8/8. So it's on the 8th of August. Numerologically, it's going to be a 1 universal day in an 11 universal month in a 3 universal year. So the 1 is all about the new, and it's kind of about a new relationship, and a new story about relationships and how we relate with one another and how we relate with the masculine and the feminine, inside and outside, from above and below. So that's the numerology of that. And the 883 is all about how we tap into our inner lion and lioness and the power of that energy with regards to self-expression, communication, speaking and hearing truth, and kind of sharing our creative gifts. So that's the numerology. So what's happening with the astrology system?
Oh well, with the 8th, I mean, I haven't written that down because like I just done a podcast.
Mm,
Wow, what a day! What a day! It's amazing. It's almost like from what I can remember now, the 8th frequency was very, very strong on that day. Obviously. Um, but I just felt with the 8th and the 9th, it was all like rounding up and, really getting to grips with who we are as a person and opening ourselves up, actually, sort of like opening ourselves up for all these energies coming in, like being ready, getting prepared. But with hard work, it's not an easy flow. It's going to take work.
mm,
And I think, again, this is when the Black Moon Lilith, I mean, she has taken such a backseat for such a long time. I mean, she's the first women's libo, and she seems to be putting a lot of pressure on Juno to, get her act together. And Lilith is like flitting backwards and forwards between Capricorn and Aquarius. So it's all about getting our self-esteem in order, basically, you know, developing our self-empowerment and but not taking it too far. But yeah, it's a very eventful day. I just feel the 8th and to the 12th is going to be very, very powerful.
I
Very
agree.
powerful.
And I agree with you, you know, from an 8 perspective, it's all about self-worth and like owning our self-worth and valuing ourselves first and foremost, especially those of us that are entrepreneurs and that are really here to be of service in a way that feels very true for us as in a sovereign way, from a sovereign perspective. Anyone out there who's employed, that's really awesome. But those of us that, you know, have chosen to back ourselves and support ourselves in stepping into an entrepreneurial path from an initiatory perspective, it's there's going to be like a leveling up, especially for the women, especially for the brothers too, but especially for the women. I feel, you know, from 8-8, and it's like we're just going to go one louder. Like we're really going to go one louder, and we're going to be supported. We're going to be support. There's going to be energies. There's going to be beings, physical, non-physical, who are here on the planet and who are here with us in the etheric, that are here to support us. So it really is. It's kind of like the time is now. Really is. The time is now for the feminine to rise, for the women to rise, for the feminine in us, in all of us, to rise. Francesca's saying, she's just reminding me, we're going to begin a new wave spell from the Mayan dream spell, which is blue magnetic hand. Now I don't know much about that, but I'm going to be speaking with Vasumi on 8-8, and we're going to be talking about the numerology of the day and the significance of that blue magnetic hand as well, which I'm still learning about. Vivica says it's her mama's birthday on the 8-8. Happy birthday to your mama, Vivica. And interestingly, the day after, so you were talking about the 8th and the 9th, the day after is the first 11 Master Day of August. So that will be an 11 Universal Master Day in an 11 Universal Master Month. So it will also be holding the 1111 frequencies, even though it's not the 11th of November, the day and the month numerologically are going to hold those energies. So we're almost going to feel a repeat of the energies that we were feeling in November last year, which for me nearly took me out. I nearly ended up going back home to Andromeda. So those energies last November were so powerful, but they're going to be coming together with the 8 energy of the lion and the lioness. So, you know, I call these energies, when they come together, peaceful power, because the 11-2 is all about peace and harmony in all relationships. And then you've got the power of the 8. So, you know, and it's the lion and the unicorn energies. I was talking about this last year. The unicorn is the 11 energy, very peaceful, divine, majestic, mythical creature, combined with the lion. So there's going to be these powerful lion and unicorn energies that are going to be coming through. So it's peace and calm and balance mixed with big magic and then power. And this is Ophiuchus and the 10th house as well, and it's serpent energy, because even though the 8 is associated with the lion, it's associated with all animals totemically that could kill you in an instant. And so the serpent for me, and even the dragon, those energies are connected to the 8 as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in astrology, from my perspective of new astrology, like the 8th house, the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, up to the, I would say the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th houses are kind of the most significant for the rebirth process, because, you know, the 10th house is also the rising of the phoenix. And, you know, so the 8th house is where we first enter into the serpent energy. And it, you know, also what I've come to terms with as well, because you know, like with this, the design of the chart wheel, you know, with Pisces being the first house, I've still been trying to get more information and more information. What I've realised is I spoke to Walter Berg and he said, no, actually, you know, we're 8 degrees Pisces on the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. And because I thought it might be 5, but it's 8. And I thought that makes sense, because every time I look at the map, I keep seeing this rainbow bridge between Pisces and Aquarius, and it starts at 7 degrees. And if we're at 8 degrees, we are actually in the age of the serpent energy. And when we go into the 7 degrees, we're actually going to be entering the rainbow energy. And I don't know, I'm just, you know, all these clarities are starting to come forward now, you know, so even I'm evolving and growing with 13 Star Sign Astrology, as I said before. So there's a lot more clarity coming in, and it's just really fascinating how it all correlates. You know, I've been seeing, because I know my own Mayan astrology, but I don't know it off by heart. And but I've just, from what I've seen of the Mayan calendar astrology, what I've seen of your numerology when you speak, the correlation is just so spot on. You know, it's just so relative. It's brilliant.
Ah, yeah, it's amazing. And what was also coming through just when we were talking about that 8 and the 11, like those energies coming together around 8, 9th, 8th, and the 11 universal day that will be happening on the 9th. Like the 8 is going to be powerful, but that's going to be powerful, but it's almost like the 9th is going to be electric. It's going to be electrifying, and it's going to be very, 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 very activating for people that are open to it, because there's going to be a strong Andromedan energy that's coming through, which is the highest vibrational frequency master number energy that come through. So for those of it, and it's going to be coming through here. So for those of us that are ready, those of us that are open, those of us that are grounded, there's going to be a monumental blast of 11 energy, unicorn energy, activational energy that's going to come through on the 9th. And for those of us that can receive it, it's going to be like phenomenal upgrades, phenomenal activations to like turbocharge us and boost us, onwards, in life, but in this month. And it's really going to blast us out, kind of, the end of the Lionsgate portal. But there's going to be another, I just need to check. Oh, there's going to be another 2 of those portals as well. And they're going to be coming right after the other 8 portals. So there's a lot of people that focus on the Lionsgate every year, which is awesome because it's 8. But there's 2 more 8 portals on the 17th. 1 + 7 is 8. And on the 26th, 2 + 6 is 8. And those dates hold the 1 and the 7, and they hold the 2 and the 6. And I'll probably talk more about those, later on in the month, about the significance and again how we can best flow with them. But the day after each of those, so on the 18th and on the 27th, they're going to be 11 portals. They're going to be 11 universal day in an 11 universal month. So again, it's that Andromedan energy, it's that turbocharge energy, it's that blast energy. And for me, it's the twin flame energy, and it's the Kundalini activation. So there's going to be massive waves of awakening and illumination, and there's going to be even more being revealed to us in our day-to-day lives and for the collective, that we need to be made aware of, or that needs to be highlighted, illuminated, brought into our awareness, especially with regards to the spoken word, especially with regards to truth, especially with regards to story, things that have been forgotten, put in the shadow, hidden away. Powerful days of illumination. And for those of us that are here to enlighten others, here to share, here to speak, here to paint, draw, whatever the heck it is, especially through technology and sharing through technology and social media, they're going to be important days. So really important days to be paying attention to and conscious of, but they're going to be big, powerful days of illumination. It's the 11 energy, and the 1111 energy is like the equivalent of like a total solar eclipse numerologically. So even though it's not happening planetarily, it's happening galactically, intergalactically, cosmically. And cosmically means it's happening across all time, space, and dimensions, you know, across all universes, all metaverses, because cosmos is the word that Pythagoras brought through to represent everything, everything that exists, especially everything that exists, you know, outside of us and beyond planet Earth. That's how big. And the master numbers, you know, that's where we go cosmic. 1 to 9 are the mortal numbers, which are very grounded and very earthly and very practical. As soon as we go, you know, and for me, the rainbow bridge is the bridge between the mortal and the cosmic. The rainbow bridge is between the feminine of the earth and the masculine of the sky and the heavens. And the rainbow bridge is the bridge between the 9 and the 11. That is the rainbow bridge. That is the rainbow bridge. And you know, where that rainbow bridge takes us is to the master numbers and to our cosmic selves and the cosmic aspects of ourselves. And that's Father Sky, as the indigenous refer to it. That's the masculine energy. And so as we're reconnecting, you know, in our hearts with our masculine and feminine, heaven and earth are reconnecting. And, you know, the physical planet of, you know, Mother Earth is reconnecting with Father Sky and the cosmos. And this is why the 12th of January 2020 is so important. And we talk about it a lot. And, you know, for me, it is a very important time, because that's when, according to Robert Kuhn, that's when there is a reconnection of the cosmic umbilical cord of the planet with the, you know, the cosmos, you know, the great central sun, and that energy that, you know, is outside of us but is connected here. It's connected right here in our physical body from our crown chakra, so to speak. And apparently Uluru, that's where the party's going to be happening. Everyone that wants to join the party for, you know, a ceremony that was interrupted or wasn't completed many, many, many years ago, thousands, maybe tens of thousands of years, that ceremony is going to be completed. And that, from a cosmic perspective and an earthly perspective, is where that reconnection is going to happen. And it's the equivalent of the healing of when we're born and that umbilical cord is cut, and that umbilical cord, there is an intervention, you know, by a doctor or someone who's intervening in nature. It just falls off. And actually the baby kind of kicks itself off the mother when it's ready. The baby determines, and the baby decides when it disconnects from the mother. And on the 12th of January 2020, there is going to be this reconnection of the cosmic umbilical cord, so that, you know, as a collective and as humans, we become more, you know, sovereignly responsible for that connection, and that connection to the mother and the father as well. And there's not these interventions of like disconnection and pulling away. It's like there's going to be this reconnection. It's going to help us to reconnect with Mother Earth as well, and our own mothers, especially those of us who had our umbilical cords cut, which counts for, you know, quite a lot of us on the planet.
Yeah, I think most of us really, you know, especially in the Western world,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, I didn't even know that about, you know, the umbilical cords breaking away naturally,
Yeah.
because it's all portrayed that, you know, you have to cut it, you know, because you can get infections and God knows what, you know. So it's always been portrayed as a really important thing to cut the umbilical cord.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't know is that there's still a lot of nutrients and a lot of stem cells and a lot of blood that is traveling through the umbilical cord from the mother and from the placenta to the baby. So when you
Mm.
interrupt that, you're actually interrupting the completion of the birth. So yes, the physical birth happened, but you're actually intervening with the connection between the mother, and the mother still has things to share with the baby that the baby needs when the baby's outside of the physical body. And when you cut that, especially if the blood's still flowing, because there's some people who say they wait until the cord's gone white so that there's no blood flowing. But actually in nature, indigenous people know this, especially when there's no human intervention, even with animals, the baby stays connected via the umbilical cord with the mother for a long time. And it stays connected to the placenta because there's nutrients in the placenta. And then it actually just it actually just naturally falls away. And this is why it's so important that, the birth isn't actually complete until the placenta is released, because the baby's still connected to the placenta, and the placenta was its home for 9 months. So actually, when you cut that
Wow.
umbilical cord, you're actually cutting, you know, you're intervening with the baby's connection to its home as well. And this makes sense why so many of us, if this has happened when we were born, why a lot of us don't feel safe on planet Earth. We don't feel like it's our home. We want to leave. We want to go back. We want to, because it's not safe. And we've been born into a world and an environment where it doesn't.
Well, it's been an abrupt sort of like cut off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, that would make sense.
yeah. So I don't even know where that came from, but that was obviously meant to be shared.
Oh, it's interesting. I never knew that. It's really interesting.
I didn't know that either until a few years
Mm.
ago. Yeah. There we go. Bianca, I requested them for them to leave the cord until all the blood had flowed. They didn't listen.
Is that my Bianca?
Bianca
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah, it's my daughter. Yeah, she's very into the natural, natural birth and yeah, so she knew.
And this is the masculine not listening to the feminine. It's not just necessarily about men and women. It's the masculine not listening to the women. It's the head not listening to the heart. And it's also about us as women energetically being so strong and so clear and so fierce about what we want, and it's about really speaking our truth about that, especially with regards to birth, because as women we know.
Mm. Yeah, we do. We have our natural instincts, and that's the thing with my children. Even though I didn't know about the birth, you don't really have a control of if you're in hospital, if you're not doing it naturally with friends that are midwives, etc. Although I had a few friends that were midwives, but they
Mm,
couldn't guarantee to be around at the time I was giving birth.
mm.
But I never ever went by the book. And the hospital used to come and say, "Oh, what time did you feed your baby?" And I said, "I'll feed my baby when my baby wants the food." You know, I just, and unfortunately with my aunt as well. I mean, she taught me, how to wrap a baby to keep them secure, like they're still in your womb, and so I had all this education from different people. But I brought, when my babies were babies, I just did what came natural to me. I didn't listen, about laying on the back, and they, 1 minute they can lay on the back, then they can't. They can only lay on this. I used to put them how they were comfortable. So, and don't hold your baby all the time. My baby was never out of my arms, you know, unless someone took him from me, and even then I was like, "Give me back, give me back." So, yeah, I've always been strong with my own instincts in any respect, to be honest. So that's why I've probably always been classed as being a little bit rebellious, and so, but who cares?
Who
I'm from
cares?
Peckham. It doesn't matter,
Fierce Peckham lioness.
you know?
Love it. For anyone watching, anyone who's from North London or thereabouts, they're, you know, just kind of like pretty hardy, pretty strong.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you know, we were obviously going to share that, and then then we've got the closing of the Lionsgate portal, which, you know, you've already said, just that time between the 8th and the 12th is powerful. So every year the Lionsgate portal closes on the 12th, and what's going to be happening around then, astrologically?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, the 13th is important. Even though the door closes on the 12th, I
Mm-hmm.
still consider the 13th to be important because it is feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the day after where we got time just to, you know, come into ourselves. Um, but I would say between the 8th, 11th, and 12th, because my head's a bit of a muddle with that whole podcast I did, because there's just so much going on,
Mm.
you know. But what I did feel is there's going to be a lot of aha moments. There's going to be a lot of like being, well, it's almost like we're being pushed on our paths, on or facing our divine feminine or the masculine energy having to face the feminine, you know. So it's going to be a very energetic time. That's all I can say. The energies are going to be really fast coming in, but we've got to be really grounded and really try to absorb everything we can, because a lot of information is going to come in that's going to be very beneficial to us. So if we can be in that place of listening as well as speaking, then we've got a lot of knowledge coming in, a lot of ideas, a lot of aha moments, you know, even maybe from another person, you know. So, but the 13th, all the aspects disintegrate apart from the ongoing T square, but we're so used to that now. But on the 13th, we're going to wake up and go, oh, I feel really different today. I feel really different. It's like, wow, you know, I just feel really calm. And it's like, has the world stopped? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be that kind of energy on the 13th.
Yeah. And numerologically, it's a 6 universal day in an 11 universal month, 3 universal year. And the 6 is all about family, it's all about home. So, and it's about feeling safe at home. But the 11 is like connected to our cosmic aspects of ourselves and our starseed heritage and origins. So it feels like numerologically, as we come out, and for me, I acknowledge the 13th as well, because for me, we hold, every day holds that pure energy of the portal, but up until midday the next day you're still feeling the energy. So for me, officially, the Lionsgate portal doesn't actually officially close until midday on the 13th, because we can still feel that overlap of energy. And the 5 day, the day before, is change. It's all about change and transformation. And so it's going to be change and transformation in our relationships on earth, but also in any relationships that we've got, you know, cosmically, with any souls that are not in physical bodies and that aren't with us physically on earth. And again, with regards to truth and, you know, speaking our truth and story, with regards to power and owning our power or taking our power back if we've given it away. But then on that 13th, it's really going to be about family. And so how are we showing up in our families? How are we speaking or being seen or heard in our families, especially for those of us that are awake and are perhaps in families that aren't so awake or aren't so conscious? We're going to be given this kind of, this Lionsgate portal is going to give us a turbocharge and a turbo boost to really feel even stronger and safer for those of us that are awake and are highly sensitive, empathic beings, stronger to be who we are and who we came here to be. And in our strength and our power and in our light, we're going to reflect that to others, and we're going to give our loved ones and our families and our communities permission to be who they are and who they came here to be as sovereign beings. So that's going to be some of the numerological energy. And like you were saying, there's a lot of light, there's a lot of help and support in the physical realm, but in the non-physical. And we can just continue to open our hearts to that. And that opening is the feminine energy to receive. The feminine energy is receiving, the masculine energy is giving. So, you know, I'm going to the chalice well most days at the moment, which is the feminine aspect and energy of the heart and the third eye. And I just sit at the well and I literally just open myself to receiving. I open my heart, I open my third eye, and I just sit in that energy and I just literally receive. And
yeah, it's beautiful energy there as well.
yeah,
Yeah, when I went down in March, you know, it was like we was in there for hours, you know. It was like, wow, I've never sat in one place for so long.
yeah. And like you were saying, there's a lot to be receiving at the moment and to be sharing, but there's so much to be
Yeah,
receiving.
there's going to be a lot coming in, a lot of energy, a lot of information, you know, and we do have to be ready to receive it because it is, you know, about our futures. And you know, there's a lot of awakening going on as well, you know. So with those that are still struggling to get to grips with the energies that have been coming in over the last year, or even people that are just completely shut off from it, you know, there's still, you know, those that are still yet to start their awakening process. And so we need more people like us to be there for these people. Because I know when I first went through mine, I had nobody, you know, it was something I had to go through alone. And I was too scared to tell anybody in case they thought I was mad and put me in a straitjacket and took my kids off me, you know. So, but you know, like again with the information that was coming in from the universe, from the like the spiritual realms at that time, was absolutely beautiful and amazing. It was one of the most beautiful times of my life, even though it was, you know, also a very kind of strange, lonely, kind of lost time as well at the same time. But you know, so, and we've got the internet now, we could share the love, we could share the knowledge, you know. But yeah, I mean, this is, I feel this Lionsgate is going to be very unique, you know, and I've only studied last year's Lionsgate in astrology, but for all, you know, compared to last year's Lionsgate, this one's got something special about it, something very, very special. And
Yep,
I'm seeing that with aspects.
yep,
You know, not challenging. It's going to be challenging, but it's going to be very revealing, rewarding. And, you know, like I've been saying for the whole of this year, it is all about us coming into our own self-empowerment, learning to stand on our own 2 feet. You know, we've got to be prepared because we're all going to need to be in our power when we've got this big Saturn-Pluto conjunction thing going on. And, you know, we've all got to, because it's going to be a different way of living, you know, as the years go on, things are going to change so much. We're going to have to enter into a different way of living, and we've all got to be on the same page.
yep. Aho, sister. And anyone who's watching who would like to listen to Kim's beautiful, wonderful, amazing transmission, you just go to her YouTube channel, Star the Good Witch, or just, you know, look for Kim's personal page. You can look for hashtag 13 Star Sign Astrology or join the Facebook group. Is it Ra Star 13 Star Sign Astrology? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah. And so
Rasta, 13 astrology.
yeah, Kim does these amazing YouTube transmissions every new moon and every full moon. So she talks about the new moon, but in that transmission she also talks about the astrological aspects of the Lionsgate Portal as well. So if you're curious and you want to listen to that, just look up Star the Good Witch on YouTube. I listen to them religiously. regularly. I love them. You were in the bath with me this week.
Ooh. Okay.
Embracing my feminine, embracing my sisters.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So yeah, so before we move on, I just want to acknowledge everyone else who's all with us. A lot of sisters with us. Hello, brothers. If there's any brothers, there's a lot of sisters with us this morning. So Kay McNamara says hi, Kim.
Oh,
Um,
hello,
uh,
boyfriend.
Lisbeth was saying my firstborn son laughed instead of crying and was long time connected. That was wonderful. I think you have to wait. It's not, for some reason, it's not opening, but I think, oh, there we go. I think you have to wait till they breathe well to cut the connection. So I think breathing in and out is really important. Absolutely, that makes sense. Rachel Mully says, tingles everywhere. I will be 31 on the 13th. Awesome. And we're going to talk about those energies as well, because it's going to be the new moon in Ophiuchus at the end of the month. Donna's saying so beautiful. So that's the Lionsgate portal. And again, you know, if anyone who's watching, if you have any questions, please feel free to share. We have a lot that we do want to share with you as we flow. So one thing that I did want to just acknowledge is on the 10th, Jupiter's going to go direct, and that's going to be a 3-11-3 portal. So it's going to be 3 universal day, 11 universal month, 3. So again, it's about communication in relationships, and you know, speaking and sharing our truth that's quite cosmic and starseedy and out there. So what will that mean with Jupiter going direct on the 10th, just astrologically, Kim?
Yeah, I mean, what I was picking up with that was it because he's at 7 degrees, I think, when he goes direct, and 7 obviously is the number of the truth seeker. But I did actually see a very creative energy with Jupiter going direct. It's like, all right, I've done all my self-reflecting about my spiritual, where I'm coming from spiritually, where I'm coming from with my desires, and you know, where I've, you know, not been so in my spiritual power in the past, you know, where I've sort of like been like, you know, a little bit greedy or self-indulgent. Um, but I think when Jupiter goes direct, it's going to be very creative energy. So again, I would say, you know, beware of what we're speaking, beware of what we're thinking, and beware of what we're actually doing, because it's going to be a very manifesting energy that's actually going to be coming out externally rather than inwardly. You know, I think there was a lot of other stuff going on that day to make me feel that. Um, so yeah, it's going to be a very creative day, good for manifestations, and you know, but positively, not when it comes to material physical desires, but when it comes to inner strength and self-empowerment. I think it's a really good creative energy for that.
And the 3-11-3, the 3 is all about self-expression and creativity, and the 11 is, again, is that cosmic connection with the higher self, the higher mind, the over self, you know, the overseeing self. And interestingly, I don't have it by me, but yesterday in my meditation I was shown a bird's eye image of something I need to paint, and it's a connection. I'm just trying to, it's a, that's the coming together of the 3 and the 11. So if we're seeing things in our mind's eye, or if we're receiving guidance of things we need to create, we need to paint or write about or talk about or dance or draw or write poetry about, that's going to be a powerful day as Jupiter's going direct. So if you're talking about that creativity, really great day to kind of open yourself up to these energies and this information from your higher self, so that you can then express them, you know, through your physical body, in the physical realm. I really want to show you what it was, because it was quite powerful. I'm going to be 1 second because I feel it's important to share. Hang on. Okay, and this is inspired by how the original Indigenous people of Australia paint. So they paint on physical, but they paint with a perspective from above. It's really, really interesting. And so this is what came through yesterday.
Wow.
And it's all connected to the 12th of January 2020. So this is, imagine you're looking from above. So this is Uluru. This is Uluru from above.
Mm-hmm.
This is the masculine aspect of the solar plexus of the planet. This is Glastonbury Tor. So this is the masculine aspect of the heart and the third eye. And what I could see was the rainbow serpent. So the rainbow serpent, which is divine feminine energy, which is the ley line that connects under the ground Uluru and Glastonbury. Rainbow serpent was coiling herself around Uluru, and she was moving in this 8 shape, in this infinite shape, and she was coiling herself around the Tor. And then she was coming back and she was linking both of these places through her divine feminine rainbow serpent energy. So she was doing this loop. And when I paint it, this will be a serpent. This is just like the kind of wireframe, I guess. But so this is rainbow serpent energy. And then over the top, superimposed, were 2 circles which represent the Vesica Pisces. So when you have 2 circles that overlap, that's the Vesica Pisces. So you have these Vesica Pisces circles that are overlapping. One represents the father and the masculine. The other one represents the feminine, which is just really interesting. So there's this mixing of energies of divine feminine, divine masculine energies, and then they're overlapping. Everything overlaps here. So ley line wise, this is Bali. This is Bali. And Bali is one of only 2 places on the planet where the big ley line arteries under the earth overlap. So there's the divine feminine energy that overlaps here, which is the rainbow serpent. But there's also the feathered serpent or the plumed serpent, which is the divine masculine energy, which actually runs through Mount Shasta. It runs through Lake Titicaca in Peru and Bolivia, and then it comes back around and it comes through Bali. So Bali and Lake Titicaca are the only 2 places on the planet where the rainbow serpent and the plumed serpent come together. And then there was this line that was running through, and this was the masculine energy that was connecting them as well. And if you go to the chalice well, there's all these Vesica Pisces. I have my little glass jars over there, but there's a line that runs through it, and this is actually strong masculine energy, which is, you know, energy that enters here in the crown as well, that is connecting these 2 sites as well. So this is a representation of the 3 and the 11 energy that can come through us, because I saw it in my mind's eye in my meditation. It was coming through my crown from my higher self, and then it came out of my physical vessel and became manifest, and I'm going to paint it. So this is a physical manifestation of the kinds of energies that we're going to be experiencing when Jupiter goes direct. And
Yeah, well, yeah, go on.
for those of us that
Yeah,
can get
no,
out of the way, for those of us that can get our mental egoic mind out of the way, you know, to look at this, you just be like, oh, like, what the heck is that? But there's a story behind it. And this is what the Aboriginals would use their paintings for. They would use their paintings and their dances and their songs to tell Dreamtime stories. And this is a Dreamtime story about what's going to happen on the 12th of January. What were you going to say?
Yeah. I was going to say, you just brought it back to me. I think on one of the days of the over the Lionsgate, I saw Mars conjunct Juno, but he's in a T square with all the goddesses. It's all this, he's wrapped in all this goddess energy. So you sort of showing me that picture is just taking me back to Mars, wrapped in all this goddess energy. And that is the 3D masculine being surrounded by divine feminine energy. So yeah, you just brought that to my mind. I thought, wow, that's just so relevant.
And when is that? Like when it, or did you literally just see it? You just saw Mars being wrapped in the divine feminine, or is there an actual T square that's going to happen in the
No,
in?
there's an actual T square. But you know, I always have visions when I look at the aspects, you know, I get visions as well. And I just saw Mars like wrapped in all this divine feminine energy. I think that was around about the 12th or 13th. No, the 11th or 12th, something like that.
Okay, and so that
Yeah.
anyone that wants to know, just listen to Kim's YouTube transmission. Um,
Mm.
Amazing, and I feel that that's what's happening because you know, yes, the feminine's rising, but it's time for the men to receive the feminine and the men to receive that feminine energy. And, you know, for the head, which is the masculine, to receive that feminine energy from the heart, and for our physical bodies to receive that feminine energy from the land and from the earth and from nature. And I met a soul brother in the organic shop the other day, very dear soul brother of mine, and he said, Sister, how can I best flow with the energies of the Lionsgate? That given that I'm here, I'm like, go to Chalice Well and just receive, 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 receive. Sit by the well, connect with the water, connect with the land, and connect up here, and just allow yourself to be filled up and to receive, and also sit on the land, lie on the land, hug the trees, snuggle with the grass, you know, because for me, it is such a powerful, potent portal, the World Peace Garden and the Chalice Well, for receiving the divine
Yeah.
feminine energy.
Mm.
It's so abundant.
It is very much so. I mean, I was even talking to the birds, you know, like Dr. Dolittle. So yeah, I got a lot of messages when I went to the Chalice Wells. Is a lot of more about inner stability with me. It was almost like a confirmation that I'm in that right space. You know, I'm in that right kind of frequency that I need to be in. So that was really lovely, and plus the water. I've got some water as well.
Mm.
Um, I must remember next time to go to take some glass bottles with me, you know, to fill up so I can bring them home and enjoy them.
Mm.
Mm.
And it's interesting because it's the lion's head where the water springs out at the chalice well. So the chalice well is the divine feminine aspect of um, the heart and the third eye. The Tor is the masculine, but where you receive the water, and it is abundant water, it is infinitely flowing water that holds strong feminine energy. Which has a lot of iron in it as well, which actually for anyone who's iron deficient or has got anemia or anything like that, this water is incredibly healing because it's strong water, strong feminine
It is.
water.
You can taste the iron in it. You can taste it. It's really strong.
It's
Yeah.
it's why I mix it. I mix all the water that I drink here is a mixture of white spring and red spring. It's not from the tap. It's all from the springs. And I actually have more. Generally, I have more masculine than feminine because the iron is quite strong. I tune in depending on what my body needs and what I'm calling in. But it's the lion's head that you drink
Yeah.
the waters of the divine feminine essence and energy in the chalice well, which is really interesting.
Mm. I didn't get to go to the White Wells, unfortunately, but I would love to. Yeah, because it's open. It's sporadic openings,
It's
isn't
like
it? There,
one
so
thirty till 4:30 every day except for, I don't know, Wednesday and Thursday or something. So yeah, when you come at the end of the month, maybe we can go, or you can go.
Definitely.
So before we continue, again, just want to acknowledge everyone who's with us and who's sharing. Let's see. So Kay McNamara, she says, can't wait till the 13th. As Kim knows, I've been going through such a bad time. Bianca says, gives me crop circle vibes. So that was when I was
Yeah, that's what
sharing.
I was thinking. Yeah. No, that would make a good crop circle.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing, I was sharing it with my beloved Chris yesterday, and it also it looks very much like a
Time,
yeah,
the stand time.
yeah, a whatever it's called. What are these called? I can't even remember what they're called. Anyway,
Timer, it's
yeah,
isn't
the
it? Yeah.
sand thing,
Uh,
which is the symbol of Extinction Rebellion. It's that remembrance that, we need to take action, our beautiful Extinction Rebellion friends. So there's, and it's this eight energy, and it's this
yeah.
coming together of energies. So I'm quite excited to paint that. And I don't feel to paint it right now, but maybe once Jupiter's gone direct, I'll be like, right, canvas, paints, off we go. So Nicole was saying, when I was in Bali one time, I was receiving images to paint of the merging of the masculine and feminine. There you go. And interestingly, Bali is the world purification vortex. That's why when a lot of us go, a lot of our stuff comes up. But yeah, it's a very powerful vortex. Nicole was saying, I've received a lot of paintings in dreams too. So once Jupiter goes direct on the 10th, might be awesome times to be painting and sharing, because of that 311.3 portal. So be really supported by those energies. So Donna was saying, it's taken me back to an advanced chakra technology. Interesting. Yeah, because obviously we've got the 7 physical chakras in our physical bodies, but there are other chakras, 12, 13, however many, that exist outside of our physical body, both up in the cosmos above us and down in the ground. And it was actually Donna who first introduced me to those, and our Earth Star chakra and all of that jazz that we can connect into. Lisbeth was saying Mars is not to start wars, but to fight our own egos or make friends with them. I found that, I I'm just I have a really good relationship with my ego these days, or my inner child, whatever you want to call it. If it's freaking out, I'm a really gentle, kind, caring, loving mum and dad, and I'm like, okay, what do you want to talk about? What are you frightened about? What do you need? It's okay. I don't, there's no fights that go on in my head anymore. I just have, or, with my little one,
When we fight it, that we're causing the resistance, really.
yeah,
Fighting the ego is causing resistance. We need to embrace the ego, nurture it,
and
bring
listen
it
to
into
it.
balance.
Yeah,
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 heal it,
yeah, and wrap it in goddess energy.
of course.
Donna says, we love you, Kim. So Donna's a very beautiful, special, sacred soul sister of mine. She's based in Manly in Sydney, Australia. So it's really beautiful that, she's she's sending you love. Oh, there we go.
Absolutely.
Carolyn. It's the hourglass. Thank you, Carolyn. It's an
Hourglass, yeah.
hourglass.
We should
We're,
know that. We're
we're like,
women.
it's the sand thing, it's the time sand thing.
It's a
Thank you.
timer.
Thanks, Caroline. Always a co-creation. There we go. Nicole, I'll come to Glastonbury and paint with you. I was receiving a lot of paintings in dreams when I was still in Australia. Yes, come paint with me, sister. I would love to paint with you.
And I would say, as well as painting, even like writing, just doodling, writing, just see
Anything
what, because
creative.
information comes through. You know, when we're channeling information, it can come through in so many different ways. It can come through in craft, it can come through in painting, it can come through in writing as well. It can
Singing,
come through in
dancing.
so many different, singing, dancing, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, so just open yourself up and do what you feel. Just, you know, even if you're not the greatest painter or the greatest writer, you know, just express yourself in any way you feel to,
Yeah.
because that is the way it's going to flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
I'm
might become a master painter.
I'm excited. Anyone who
Yeah.
wants to come and paint, let me know. We'll have a painting party when Jupiter goes direct.
Yeah, because
Car-
like all this soul energy just coming together, like soul unions and soul tribes, and yeah, it's, you know, it is an amazing energy coming in.
Yeah, Carolyn says, all this talk of painting is very interesting. I'm in the middle of my first painting for over 4 years, and Carolyn's been sharing it with me, and it's so beautiful. It is this hybrid peacock phoenix. It's a peacock that has its tail feathers are like flames. It is an incredible painting. And interestingly, Carolyn is a 3 life path and a 1 expression. So, and this, all of that energy got initiated and ignited in July, which was a 1 month in a 3 year. So, you know, these times, and even that 311-3 portal, really initiating and igniting for people with 3s, 1s, and 11s, but for all of us to be switching on to and tapping into those energies as well. So yeah, and like Kim was saying, any form of creative self-expression, whatever lights your soul up like a Christmas tree, go nuts.
And it might even be something you've never done before,
Might be
but you just got this
pottery.
urge to do it.
Yeah,
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 just have this amazing urge just to do something, you know.
yeah.
Mm.
So Pamela says, hello, Catherine and Kim. Hello, Pamela. We love you. Nicole says, I've had major blocks to doing the things I download. Also, writing projects. I'm ready to give birth. It's been so hard. When I press the little see more, it doesn't always open the comment.
Yeah, it's the only trouble, isn't it? Yeah.
Mercury, shadow. Okay, maybe we're
Yes.
not going to
No.
see the rest of it. Francesca, may I kindly ask if the zodiacs and the ruling planets or asteroids may resonate with both of you this way? I don't know
What way?
I don't know. I don't know.
I use the asteroids as well. Yeah, I use the main asteroids like Juno, Ceres, Vesta, and Pallas.
Maybe Francesca's talking about Pluto, not Pluto, Jupiter going direct. Oh no, actually, yes, I think I know what you mean. So, how I was saying, when there are portals numerologically, it can affect us and activate us numerologically. Yes, I would imagine it's exactly the same that, you know, well, it definitely is when the sun is in a certain sign and when the planets are in certain locations and in connected to certain zodiacal signs, it will be influencing all of us, but it will probably be having specific activations depending on our birth chart and our progressive. Absolutely. I think that's what Francesca's asking.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It depends what house as well. It's activating certain house or a certain sign in your chart. But yeah, Mercury is still in shadow actually until around about the 15th of August.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Mercury retrograde is still kind of in effect, but more subtly, more subtly. But you know, I have bought a new phone contract in a shadow of a Mercury retrograde, and it hasn't lasted more than a year, so it has got a strong emphasis still. But you know, I think throughout this Lionsgate portal, we're all going to be a bit like that anyway. You know, sort of like I don't think it's a time again to push forward. I think it's a time to just open up all your chakra points and just receive and write things down, definitely, because you'll be having dreams, you'll be having I mean, number sequences are off the scale for me since April. It's like every day I'm taking five or different, 5 or 6 different photos of number sequences that just keep popping up. And I've also started to get a lot of information, through my third eye, crown chakra. So they're all being activated, and even more so through the Lionsgate.
Yeah, and even just to give you an example, Francesca, as some of you will probably know by now, I'm mildly obsessed, stroke incredibly interested in 13 star sign astrology and the 13th sign of Fucus. And I've just been following my heart and trusting that. And I care very, very deeply about spreading the love for 13 star sign astrology and having people remember the 13th star sign. And beautiful sister Kim gave me a reading about this time last year. I think it was towards the end of August or maybe even September when I had my first 13 star sign astrology reading, because I'd never resonated with 12 star sign. It just didn't sit right with me. And Kim gave me a reading based on my birth chart, and everything made sense. I'm Sun Libra based on my birth chart. I'm a 22 life path, so balance, scale, like all of that jazz. Everything in my 13 star sign astrology birth chart matches my numerology. So I was like, I'm not mad. I'm not crazy. I'm not weird. I'm not in resistance to Scorpio. I'm not in resistance to 12. I just knew that there was something missing, and now I found that, and everything makes sense. However, when Kim gave me information about my progressive chart, everything went one louder. And I'm actually Sun or Fucus in my progressive. And that makes a lot of sense. And that really explains why I care so flipping deeply about Ophiuchus. So hopefully that answers your question, Francesca. And it just, yeah, it's like, I don't know. Everything makes sense. Everything is making more and more and more sense with it in every moment of every day. And opening ourselves to receiving includes opening ourselves to receiving information, because there is information that has either been forgotten or is brand new, that has never been, on this planet before, that we're ready for. We're ready to receive. Our souls have reached a level of consciousness, awakening, evolution, whatever the heck you want to call it, where we're ready. And it's the kind of the equivalent of getting to Cosmic University and being ready to be open to the information that we can learn in a cosmic degree, or, doing a cosmic PhD. And, there are some of us on the planet that have had to go through our own journeys to get to a place where we're ready, and we've gone through the initiations to share that information for the people who are ready to receive it.
Yeah, and everyone, has got their own timing, their own sort of like, we've all got our own life paths, and we've all got certain times in life when we're going to be open to something. So, that's what I say to people. Don't put pressure on yourself if you can't force yourself. And this is another thing about the Lionsgate Portal. It's here to teach us about being true to ourselves, about being authentic, about our likes, our dislikes, what we resonate with, what we don't resonate with. It's no longer going to be about going along with the crowd because that's what you're used to doing, or, someone phones you up and I need you, and you're always that person that's there when you need it. It's now time to say, well, no, sorry, I can't. So it's learning to use the no word for the empaths, and for those that are needy or do take the piss, it's time for them to really stand in their own power and look after their own bloody selves. Do you know what I mean? It's like, get on with it.
It's true.
So the empaths really, stronging up, really,
Yeah, and that's,
because
yeah, go on.
they've got to concentrate on their own evolution at the moment, because that's what we're all going through. We're going through this major evolution process, and we can't keep spending out our energy. You know, we've got to keep some back for ourselves.
Yeah.
So we are going to have to start saying no,
Yeah.
you know,
And
sorry, not today.
yeah, and that's that sovereign energy of the one from July that's overlapping with the beginning of this month and is going to be with us until the middle of the month. And it, you know, it's a strong sovereign energy that's with all of us. And it's about, and I talk about this a lot. I wave the one flag because I'm a one heart's desire. It's about remembering how to meet our own needs first and foremost. And if there are any needs that we can't meet, or if there's anything that we need a hand with, that's why there's 8 billion of us on the planet and we all have different numbers and keys and codes, then and only then going out, but making sure that you filled your tank first and foremost as full as you can. And then if you need help or support with anything else, going out and, you know, allowing yourself to receive from others, but doing it from as whole and complete a place as possible when you come together with another being, which is the Vesica Pisces, rather than doing it from a like, oh, I'm only half full and I need another half to make me full, which is that's the old way, that's the codependent way, and that's the way, you know, that we're stepping away from, because we're embracing our sovereignty and our wholeness and our completeness. And this is how we are creating, and we're evolving. We're either creating brand new relationships, or we're evolving our existing relationships, so that, you know, we're coming together as whole and complete beings, so that we can, you know, co-create together. And that's where the magic happens. And this especially is happening in our families, because, you know, and especially, you know, children and parents and vice versa. It's really important that we're embracing our sovereignty, so that we can have those sovereign, whole and complete. It's not even interdependence. Thich Nhat Hanh calls it interbeing, so that we're being a whole and complete soul, and when then we're coming together with other souls to overlap our energies and to co-create and to weave magic, which is what, you know, which is what's happening right now. And that's the sacred geometry of the Vesica Pisces. But when many of us come together as whole and complete beings, that's the flower of life. That's what the flower of life represents. But it starts here with our sovereign selves individually. So we'll come
So it's
on
coming into harmony, you know.
absolutely.
Mm.
We'll come on to the middle of the month in a minute. Lots of agreements from Francesca and Donna. Pamela was saying 13 is her favorite and lucky number. Let's just see. Francesca says, may I please ask if there's an app? Whoops, hang on. Is there an app that includes Ophiuchus in the astrological chart? I think I know the answer to this question. Is there an app?
Yeah, I've actually had my own chart wheel designed in Astro app. It's called Version Lovelace. But to get to that, I think it's about $13, 13 US dollars a month to, oh, you can just do a one-off. You can pay just $13 for a one-off month, to get access to the chart wheels. You know, it's nothing to do with me. It's actually Astro app, the charge. I still pay a fee as well monthly. But I've had, they were kind enough to design me my own chart wheel, which is based on Waterberg's calculations. So yeah, on Astro app, astroapp.com, you would have to sign up for the $12.99 US dollar fee, but you can do one-offs, or you can do it every month, and you can access the charts there.
But there isn't an app at the moment for tablets or phones, is there?
It is, yeah, you could do it on tablet or phone. You
Oh,
can access it,
but you
and
can't
it's iCloud.
download it
Oh no,
as
it's
an
not a
app.
download. No, no, it's an iCloud based system.
Okay.
It's not an astrology program that you can buy. I mean, I've got Prometheus as well, which is a 13 does, but it doesn't do the 13 houses at the moment. So it's only Astro app really that. No, I would love to have an app actually. I've
Me
even considered
too.
having a, yeah, but it's with astrology. I need someone who understands how to program astrology program, like
Yeah.
and I would like to make it more universal as well, so it can be downloaded onto a Windows computer as well as iMac or Apple
Yeah.
or even the Linux system and stuff like that. I'd like it to be quite universal.
Well, let's set the
But we all have
intention.
to start somewhere.
Absolutely. Well, let's
Yeah.
set the intention for a 13 star sign astrology app for phones and tablets to weave its way into reality in the perfect moment.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For sure. Um, so let's see before we move on. Yeah, Francesca was saying, yeah, never resonated with astrology. 13 is huge. And also adding our planet Earth to our charts. Um, let's see. Okay, so just a few more dates to just kind of chat through. So there's the full moon in Capricorn, and we're moving out of post shadow Mercury retrograde on the 15th of August. So you'll be doing like a full YouTube transmission, but anything you want to share with us, just kind of, for now, about the significance of that happening in the middle of the month?
Oh yeah, on the 15th. I actually saw a 4-4 frequency on that day with the planetary degrees. And the moon will be at 22 degrees in Capricorn. But I think, yeah, was it the sun? Yeah, the sun conjunct Venus at 4 degrees. So there'll be 4 degrees each. So I thought, oh, like 444. That's what I've sort of got from that. Um, I think it's going to be this moon is going to be very gentle. It's going to be a very gentle day, but we can be a little bit too oversensitive on that day. And again, that will be down to, our self-esteem or our self-worth, feeling of self-worth. Um, I saw Juno is still going to be conjunct Mars as well around about that time. So there's still this confrontational thing going on with the masculine and the feminine, and they call it. Remember that film War of the Roses? Yeah. I think it's a little bit like that, but quite comical. Do you know what I mean? For me to see it. But yeah, I saw, maybe a little bit of give and take in relationships, maybe a little bit of lack of self-expression or being difficult to express ourselves. And again, this is when we need to come into our own power and be strong in who we are, you know, strong with who we are as a person and not feel no way about that because we are who we are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Well, we've been brought up throughout life sort of like, you can't be like this and you can't be like that and you've got to be more like me. From parents, from teachers, from the system. So, yeah, I think also, where there can be a lot of bottling up, there can be a few explosions like where we feel we need to let off steam, so if we're not really expressing ourselves, then we're bottling up energy and it becomes stagnant, and that's when it can become quite explosive. So I just feel there's a lot of balance going to be needed on that particular full moon. We've really got to hold on to that balance within ourselves, but
Yep.
stand strong in who we are.
Yeah, and that's going to be an 8 universal day in an 11 month in a 3 year. So exactly the same numerologically. It's about standing in our power, but being peaceful and calm and gentle, yet assertive in our communication, in our relationships, especially. But really important is this peaceful power. It's this 11 and the 8 energy. So even though we're going to be out of the Lionsgate portal, almost like everything that we will have experienced in that portal and all that energy that, you know, we will have been kind of receiving and integrating, you know, the full moon in Capricorn might give us some opportunities to, you know, really embrace that peaceful power, especially, you know, in how we're communicating with one another and ensuring that it's respectful and honorable and that we're valuing ourselves and we're valuing one another. We're speaking our truth, but we're being like gentle. You know, we can be assertive and powerful and gentle all at the same time. That is possible. And then we're moving out of that post shadow of Mercury. So everything that we've learned or received or has been brought to our attention in the Mercury retrograde that we've been integrating in the shadow, it will fully move out of that shadow. And like you were saying, there's just going to be like this, you know, powerful, you know, forward momentum, as we completely move out of that shadow period, for Mercury. And then the last two things I just wanted to share or to talk about, is the 24th of August. So this, I think, is, we were talking about it last time we chatted, is it's a Mars, what is it? Mars conjunct.
Mars Venus
There you
conjunction.
go,
Yeah.
which
Uh,
is
yeah.
another 8-11-3 portal. So it's the same energy, but it's Mars Venus. So what is,
Fascinating day. That's a really fascinating day because this is really strong soulmate energy, you know. So we got Mars conjunct Venus at 15 degrees in Leo, and we've got Sun conjunct Juno at 12 degrees in Leo. So they're all pretty much conjunct, you know, but we do have a double T square on that day as well. And that's right, that is quite a balance of feminine and masculine energies, you know, but in a double T square, that is really putting the pressure on us, you know. So the only thing is, I think we can all be feeling a little bit too good, you know, or, you know, I'm feeling so good today. Come on, partner, or come on, friend, you know you want to do it really. You want to come along for the ride. Go on, go, you know, get up there, go on, do it. So we could be a little bit pushy on that day as well because we're feeling so great. We just naturally assume everyone else is feeling just as great as we are. So I think the most important thing to take note of on that day, anybody you're dealing with, just make sure you're on the same page, really. Just make sure you're both on that same page. And if you're not, then have that conversation to see where you're both at. And then, you know, sort of like reach that compromise, basically. You know, so I would say it's a day of compromise. But it's also a day, if you're both on the same page, there's a lot of fun to be had. Or you know, a lot to be achieved.
and with that 8 energy, a lot of abundance is a lot to receive. So again, even though the Lion's Gates close, like whenever this 8 energy shows up in our lives, it's representing abundance, money, financial, material wealth. And when our hearts are open and we're flowing with that feminine energy that's associated with the 8, it's about receiving money, receiving clients, receiving, you know, resources to help and support us in our business or to help and support us in our lives, in our homes, communities, relationships, in our creativity, whatever's required. So really powerful days to be opening up, especially in co-creation, or, you know, with your soul brothers and soul sisters, or with your lovers, or with your journeying partners, your husbands, your wives, anything like that.
Yeah. And I think again it's all about trusting your own instincts and following your own path, you know. Because there is I think I saw a kite on one of the days as well. I don't think it was on this particular day, but we do have a double T square, so there is a little bit of a push-pull energy on that day. But again, it's all about trusting your own instincts and going with what you want to do or what you feel is right for you.
Yeah. And then
You know?
whoever flows with you, you just know that they're flowing
Yeah,
with you because
right.
they resonate with you and
Yeah,
they're in the flow. And if they don't, you know, whoever's invited's invited, or maybe it's just solo, but then you know that, you know, when it's, because this is the place we're moving to, this ease and grace, this
mm,
flow, and that's the feminine energy. There's no more pushing, pulling. There's invites and there's this, that, and the other. And this is where the yes and the no is important. And a no at one point can become a yes in time. But like you were saying, just follow your flow. And, you know, whoever comes with you or whoever shows up or whoever says yes to whatever invites you put out there, they're the beings who are meant to be flowing with you. They're the beings who are meant to be co-creating or having that experience with you.
yeah. So if you meet that person, give them a high five.
Yeah,
It's like, what we doing then? Let's go.
yeah. Let's flow. Um, and and then the final, you know, the final thing, which is for me very important and significant given the 13 star sign astrology, is it's the new moon in Leo at the end of the month. So according to 12 star sign, we just had it, but 13, true lifetime sky, was the new moon in Cancer. The new moon in Leo is going to be 22:38, like in the evening UK time, on the 30th of
Oh,
August.
yeah. I didn't actually look that far ahead because I
Mm,
got to the new moon. Oh no, it is. I did. Yeah.
mm.
I must have been tired when I wrote this because I've put the full moon on the 15th and the new moon on the 15th. It's
Ah!
like it's all happening. It's all happening on the 15th. It must be a sign for me. I've written that twice and it's like got to be significant, you know.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah, we've got the sun and moon at 18 degrees in Leo, so we're going back to that 9 energy again. But the sun and moon are going to be in quite a stellium. And so there's a lot of overpowering energy going on, you know, a lot of competitive energy, whether it's within ourselves or with others or just the energies on the whole. Um, oh, and I think this is where I was seeing like the balance of like the three masculine, the three feminine, yeah, because it's Venus and Mars, it's Neptune, it's Mercury and Juno, the sun and moon, all in a stellium. So, and the Black Moon Lilith, wow, she's completely involved in this as well, in this stellium. She's opposed in the stellium. So she's breaking up the party or breaking up the fight, you know? It's like, look at yourselves, take a good look at yourselves and tell me what you really see. You know, are you really, do you have the cheek to call yourself a divine being? You know? Uh, so, yeah, I do think it's going to be quite a challenging day, that one. Um, but, you know, I think what is actually happening is, and I think this is relative to the Lionsgate Portal, what I actually see is that we've been in this stuck energy, or what feels like a stuck energy, for so long now. It's almost when we come out of it, because it's going to end so abruptly as well, this stuck energy. It's going to end so abruptly. It's going to be like, some of us are going to feel like a wild animal that's just been let out of a cage, you know, so I know that feeling, yeah. um, and I think because there's so many major changes and shifts coming in, it's almost going to be out of control. It's like an out of control feeling. And I think that's when it all starts on the new moon at the end of August. Because I think up until the end of August, we're still integrating all the energies of last year, all the energies of this year, and the Lionsgate Portal. And then by the end of August, it's like, right now, you've got to be ready. for the next cycle of changes and major shifts. And these aren't going to be a stuck energy. If anything, you may not know whether you're coming or going on certain days, yeah, or at certain times. But it's going to be exciting as well, because we're going to actually feel like we're moving forward now. You know, it's no longer this stuck energy of like, you know, I'm taking one step forwards and two steps back. It's going to be, I'm ready. Are you?
Oh, born ready.
I'm over ready.
I'm
I'm
born
like, come
ready.
on.
I've been waiting 38 years for this.
Yeah.
Like, I've been waiting, and the time is now. The
Yeah.
time is now. Yeah. And Donna says, well, I'm on my way to Colombia, so bring on that wild, liberated, free energy. Bye bye, stuck. I'm so excited. Nicole says, born ready too. It's funny because whenever Chris, like, you know, whenever we're about to go somewhere or do something, he's like, are you ready? Every single time I'm like, born ready. Me, born ready.
That's
Even if
funny.
no
I'm
one
always
else
that
was.
person. It's like, yeah, when you're ready, when you're ready. I'm coming to see you soon. Yeah, when you're ready.
The time is now. So, and it's,
Yeah.
I've just looked at the numbers. It's interesting because the 30th is, it's the same code, it's the same portal as the 12th of
Right.
August. So it's a 5 universal day in an 11 month in a 3 year, which is all about change. Again, change in relationships, change in communication. And then the day after, on the 31st, is a 6. So it's that family, integrative, soul family, cosmic starseed family energy on the 31st, which is the same, going to be the same energy on the 13th. And again, you've got that 1 3 3 1, that 4 energy in there as well.
Mm.
And for me, you know, I know we've been talking about it, but the 31st is when we've decided that we want to come together and share. And I feel that it just feels such a potent time, numerologically, astrologically, to come together in the physical realm and be talking about and sharing cosmic numerology and 13 star sign astrology together. Um,
Mm. Yeah, the
and
only thing I'll warn you though is you might have to like keep a little rein on me, because I've got a lot of planets in Leo, and they're all going to be conjuncting my Pluto, my Uranus, my Juno, my everything, you know. So you might have to go, Kim, calm down. Why have you got all that lipstick on? I'm like, just
you can wear as
so I'm
much
warning
you
you.
can wear as much lipstick as you like, sister.
Oh, brilliant.
Lipstick's welcome.
Oh, see, I was laughing when I was looking at the transits for that day, and I thought, oh my God, what a day to meet Katharine on in the flesh.
Well, yeah, we're gonna hopefully meet on the new moon in Leo, and Leo is all about the
Yeah,
heart, and Glastonbury is the heart chakra of the planet. So it's like, I feel it's pretty powerful time for you to be here. I feel it would be really activational.
yeah. It's a good job I'm a little bit sort of evolved, you know, a
We'll
little bit
just
in my own
we'll
power.
take you to the Chalice Well. We'll have a little sit by the well, and we'll get you like fully grounded, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So before we talk more about that, I just want to acknowledge again, a lot of sisters, brothers, if you're watching, hello. I think Shamir was watching earlier, but and feel free to comment. A lot of sisters sharing today. It's so beautiful.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
wow.
Donna was
It,
saying, love it. The power is you. Absolutely. We are the power. Um, Nicole, you mentioned soulmates. Would you like to share anything non-twin flame union at this time? I don't feel to share anything about that in this transmission, but maybe in time. I have shared quite a lot, but The twin flame energy is the 11th. So there's a big theme around that for August. Nicole says, do you think often people connected to Sirius come through to be born around the Lion's Gate? Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. My
Absolutely.
son's actually born on the 11th. My son Nathaniel, he's born on the 11th of August, so he definitely chose the Lionsgate portal to come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, numerologically, Sirius is connected to the 4, and the 8 is connected to Orion. So even though in the story, I actually feel like we're blessed during the Lionsgate portal with a lot of Sirian energy, which is the 4, and Orion energy, which is the 8, and 4 plus 4 is 8. So I feel that, and again, I think I said at the beginning of the transmission, a lot of people, especially women, coming to me for readings, activations, initiations, who hold 4s and 8s and 44 8s. So many. It's incredible. And some who were born during the Lionsgate portal, some who weren't. But there's a lot of women that hold these keys and codes, and a lot of women holding Sirian energy, Orion energy, which is powerful energy, and 11 energy coming to me for initiations, but also women with 1s and 3s as well, just because of the numerological energies that are floating around at the moment. So yeah, absolutely, Nicole. Um, so yeah, that is everything that I wanted to chat to you about and wanted to share, all that we need to know about. Oh wow, Kim has literally just disappeared. That was really interesting. Hopefully she'll come back. But if there's anyone who's watching who has any questions, but there was just one final thing that I wanted to share. I'm hoping that Kim will reconnect. Maybe I'll just answer your question, Nicole, about, what did you say? I don't know if I can see all of it. Let's just see. Share anything about non-twin flame unions at this time. Well, for me, the twin flame is an energy. The twin flame is an energy, and it's an energy that's associated with the 11, and it's an energy that we can all experience in our hearts, in our bodies, and outside of ourselves as well. And I don't believe that there's only one twin flame union, so to speak. I believe that we have and can have twin flame relationships, friendships, experiences with anyone and with animals. And really, the role and the purpose of the twin flame energy is to activate and to enlighten and to switch on. I believe that we're all soulmates. I believe that, all of us on the planet, we're all, souls in physical bodies. So we all have the potential to be soul friends and soulmates. I do believe that, we have the ability to navigate twin flame relationships and twin flame energies. And I actually believe that, our relationships with our family members are very much associated with the twin flame energy, because they can be so triggering and they can be so activational. And beyond that is the twin ray, which is the 22, and that is, I actually believe that the connections that we have with our family members, they're actually twin ray relationships and friendships and partnerships, because the twin ray is the committed cosmic relationship, the long-term committed relationship. And we can only really embrace and enjoy and experience all of the magic of the twin ray, which is the 22-4, which is divine union, when we have acknowledged and embraced and experienced the 11-2 energy, which is the twin, and mastered it, actually. And so for anyone on the planet that is having, you know, a triggery time or a challenging time with anyone in your life, whether it's a lover or a journeying partner, a friend, a family member, a husband, a wife, a child, you know, this month of August, from a universal perspective, is an 11-2 in a 3 universal year. So very powerful time to be, you know, tuning into how we're communicating in our relationships, how we're communicating with ourselves. And in this Lionsgate portal, a really powerful time to be tuning into, you know, our personal power, our sovereign power, and what our, like Kim was saying, what our yeses and nos are, what we will and won't tolerate, what is and isn't okay. And I've actually been, you know, especially during the Mercury retrograde, getting clearer and clearer about what I am and I'm not okay with, and, you know, how I am and I'm not okay with people communicating with me. I've been doing a little bit of a Facebook friend cleanse and a messenger cleanse and a Facebook group cleanse, and just, you know, really getting clear about, you know, how I would like to be communicated with, and how I communicate with others. Because, you know, the way that I communicate, my intention is always to communicate in as peaceful, calm, gentle, yet if needed, assertive and powerful way as possible. So I hope that's helpful for you, Nicole. I'm not sure whether Kim is going to come back. Kim, if you're watching, just let me just see if I can add Kim. Let's see. Yeah, so in which case, I think I'm going to wrap. Oh. Oh, I think you're all still there. Wow, I thought I'd completely lost you all then. Probably had a moment of shocked surprise on my face. I'm going to wrap things up, and I'm going to share some really beautiful news with you all about mine and Kim's co-creation at the end of the month. Oh, hang on. So Nicole, the reason I ask is because I'm from Sirius and I was very in love with someone who was born on the 10th, and I can't read that. Can I read it? Oh, let's see. It's Mercury retrograde. I can't read it all, but hopefully that's helpful. Bianca says back off Mercury. Oh, too funny. Too funny. Vivica, we'll continue to watch this later. Thank you so much. Alison's agreeing. Nicole's saying yes. Awesome. A lot less pressure if there's not just one. No, there isn't just one, sweetheart. There isn't just one. That's free will. That's the power of free will. So Ariane's saying thank you, Kim and Katharine. My pleasure, Ariane. So the final thing that I want to share with you all is that Kim and I are going to be sharing and co-creating our first event in the physical realm in 3D reality here in Glastonbury on Saturday the 31st of August. So it'll be the day after the new moon in Leo, here in Glastonbury, and it's going to be an introduction to Cosmic Numerology and 13 Star Sign Astrology. We are still in the process of organising the venue. It's probably going to be the Goddess House, but we just need to check a few things and check the availability. And we're also going to share that transmission live. It will be a paid event. So for anyone that wants to join us in the physical realm and come be with us, you're very welcome to join us. I will be sharing a Facebook event and links and things like that so that you can buy tickets and come and join us in the physical. And for those of you that can't join us in the physical and want to join us online, there will be a way for you to pay and to join the gathering online as well. And if you do have any questions, like we will be, there'll be space for people to ask questions online and at the event itself. So that will be an introduction to Cosmic Numerology and 13 Star Sign Astrology on Saturday the 31st of August in Glastonbury. And then we are also going to be teaching and sharing for the first time ever together Cosmic Numerology and 13 Star Sign Astrology Level 1. Oh, there's Kim. Oh, you are here. Maybe I can... Oh, I'm going to add you. Yay! Okay. Mercury shadow. Kim is here. Oh,
Oh,
there you are.
God,
Where'd you go?
what a
Where
drama.
did you go?
I don't know, it just cut off just like that.
You just
Yeah,
disappeared.
yeah. I think it was a bus went by and that was it. It was wiped out. It was like, see ya.
See, that won't happen when we're together in the physical.
No.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
you
Yeah,
won't
can
just
you
be like,
imagine?
boom, where's she gone? She gone. She back. I was just telling
Oh, bless
everyone,
you.
I was telling everyone about our magical 3D offerings and gatherings.
Okay, yeah. I heard you actually. I just couldn't get back on. I just couldn't find the button to, or even to comment. So I had to go on my mobile phone separately and like message you to let you know I was here actually watching you. So I was
Good.
actually, watching you hold the fort. Bless you. Doing it as well as you do.
So, Saturday, the 31st of August, we're going to come together and have an evening, 7 till 9, an evening of an introduction to 13 star sign astrology and cosmic numerology.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Me too. And then for anyone that wants to dive deeper, we've decided that we're going to come together for the equinox, the September equinox, and we're going to have a whole weekend of cosmic numerology and 13 star sign astrology level 1. So there'll be a day dedicated to cosmic numerology, a day dedicated to 13 star sign astrology. So people can come to either one or both, and there'll be a special price that we'll offer for people that want to come to both, and there'll be a day price for each. And that's going to be on Saturday the 21st, Sunday the 22nd of September. And for anyone that wants to come for the whole weekend, there's a beautiful gathering, a special equinox gathering at the Chalice Well on the Monday, on the 23rd at midday. So for anyone, I will definitely be going. I'm not sure whether Kim will join us, but you'll be welcome. Anyone that wants to come together, because it's a very, very, very special gathering for the September equinox. So
Lovely.
just wanting to extend those invites to anyone who wants to join us in the physical or virtually. We'll be making it available for anyone that wants to join us online virtually as well. Anything you want to share about that, darling? Especially level 1, the teachings?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to actually put that together first because it's such a complex system as well. It's not really straightforward, but I want to do it in a way where it is straightforward. So, yeah, we'll just get something together and make sure it's something that people can grasp quite easy, see if there's a way of simplifying it.
Yeah. I feel
Mm,
I feel that will be super easy, and I'm really excited to receive, all of your knowledge and your wisdom and the teachings and the sharings as well.
brilliant.
Big energies at the moment. So, before this is what I was just asking you before you disappeared the first time. Before we
No, see?
before we close our beautiful little circle together, Facebook Live, is there anything else you feel to share or want to share before we close and complete?
No, I would just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for joining us and for your interest, um, and for all the kind comments. And it's lovely to see so many women here as well. Like to see some more men as well that are in their divine feminine energy join us. But no, just thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks, Kim. Thank you so much for being with us and co-creating and sharing all your knowledge and wisdom. It's so juicy. And like you were saying, thank you to everyone who's joined us for all your beautiful comments, for all of your questions. We love and appreciate and honor you, and welcome to everyone who's new as well. Donna says, bless you too. Thank you for this time together, beautiful sisters. Thanks for joining us, Donna. Real honor to have you
And I was in a
here.
bit of a crisis earlier because, as you can see, one of the arms of my glasses broke, and I thought, how am I going to see? And it's bank holiday weekend as well, so yes, it's a sign. These are well overdue to be changed.
So for anyone who's watching, if you've loved this and enjoyed this, please feel free to share. Sharing's caring. I'm always so happy and grateful to those of you that share in your groups and spread the love and share with brothers and sisters who you feel would love this information, would find it juicy and helpful and supportive. And yeah, anyone who's interested in joining us in the physical or virtually at either of our events, just keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned. I'll be posting information on my personal wall, in the Cosmic Numerology family group, on my Katharine Kinnie Cosmic Numerologist page. I'm sure, Kim, you'll be sharing, you know, once we've solidified it and got it, you'll be sharing too. And
Definitely.
I guess, as always, keep your hearts open, keep choosing love, keep being love, and keep spreading the love. And yeah, have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, especially if you're watching on the replay. And Kim, thank you so much for being with us. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
I love you. I love everyone. Sending you so much love from Glastonbury.
Yeah. Peace and much love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Divine blessings. See you soon. Love you.